Hi, thanks very much for taking the time to watch this video. I thought it might be useful because I've had a couple of people query who've received a link to our second survey about what are we actually asking them to do. And I thought it's really difficult to actually explain it in writing, so I thought I'd do a little video to explain that. But first, what I'm going to do is just give you an overview of what we're trying to do in the whole project, not in this survey. This survey is only part of it. So what we're trying to do, so when I say we, there's a project team of teachers who are currently coordinating this, and you're part of the kind of like the next layer, the expert group. And then we're hoping more teachers get involved in later stages. But what we're trying to do is develop a new D&T curriculum for teaching in England to primary and secondary schools. And we're trying to do this through the consensus of the members of the D&T community. And that's the key thing. It's about consensus. And to get that consensus, we're using a research approach called the Delphi technique. And the Delphi technique has a number of phases to it. And you're currently involved in working with us in phase 1 as part of that expert group. So as I said, there's 4 phases that we're doing, and these are listed and detailed in the survey, but I'm just going to kind of show you how these all fit together. So in phase 1, what we're trying to do is we're trying to identify, with your help, what the things are that we haven't agreed on yet in design and technology. So we've got these 25 questions that are in the survey that you've got, and we're trying to get your help to tell us, do we have a consensus on these questions? Do they still need debating? Are they important things to debate, or can we just put them to one side because they've been resolved? In the next phase, which we're not in yet, this is after we've agreed the consensus in phase 1, right? We've got these questions. They're not resolved. We don't have clear answers. There's lots of disagreement. In phase 2, we're going to say to you, okay, so what's the disagreement? What are the different opinions to each of those questions? And in that phase, once we've got those debates, and we're hoping that people will write, draw or talk different opinions about each of the questions, and we can put that together in a publication and put that out to the community for voting on. We're hoping we might even get a conference together of people to be able to come face to face to debate these questions and to debate the different opinions and then get some consensus. And then once we've got consensus on, well, for example, design and technology, we have decided as a group that design and technology is not a vocational subject as part of a general education. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying that's true. Okay. Once we've got a consensus on each of those questions, then it's over again back to the D&T community. Well, what's your design solution then? If we're saying, for example, that D&T isn't a vocational subject, what does that curriculum look like as part of a general education? And we're hoping that lots of people in the D&T community who are already doing some work around this and are experimenting and trying different things out in their D&T curriculum have got some solutions to what D&T looks like in the classroom, what the curriculum is, that we can then again collate together, put them together, whether it's in an online publication or a book that people can take away or a design portfolio, that the D&T teaching community can go, oh, I'm really interested in what they're doing over in Leeds. I quite like their curriculum model or the way they've approached it. Or I'm really fascinated by what's happening in Portsmouth, and I'm going to have a look in the book to see what they're doing. And so people can actually test these ideas out. So we kind of then start to have this whole iterative process of back and forth. People have put forward some resolutions that they've tried or they'd like to try. Some people get together and try them and test them. And then we kind of see, well, is there a consensus? Okay, is there a consensus to that? And then in phase 4, I'm not quite sure we'll get there. All right, we might get to a point of being able to agree what a new D&T curriculum looks like. So those are the 4 phases for the whole project. We're just in phase 1 at the moment, and the survey that we've asked you to complete is just for phase 1, where we're trying to work out what are the things we even need to debate. So let's have a look at the survey. So I'm asking you about these questions, okay? I'm not asking you what your answers are to these statements. I'm asking you, do you think this issue needs resolving? So if you think that D&T is a vocational subject, the issue of that still needs resolving, that it's unresolved, you need to put either strongly agree or somewhat agree. If you think it's been resolved, we don't need to debate it, put strongly disagree or somewhat disagree. If you kind of don't care about this question, you don't think it's something that we even need to kind of think about either way, it's an irrelevant question, then you select the middle one, neither agree or disagree. And there are 25 questions that we want you to tell us whether you agree they need to be debated or whether you disagree that they don't need to be debated, that they need to be debated. Hoping that makes sense, okay? That's what we're asking you to do in this second survey. And then, as I said, once we finalise those, based on what you tell us, we're going to use your responses to kind of redefine those questions, get them clear. What we're going to do then is put those questions out, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, on my podcast, articles, whatever, and say to people, now, answer the questions. What's your opinion? Write me 750 words. Do me a 2-minute talking head. Do me a drawing, or not me, but do the team a drawing. Let's kind of get some of those opinions. Let's thrash them out. Let's get them out in the open, and then we can debate them. And that's what we're hoping for in the next phase. And we're really hoping that you, as part of the expert group, will be part of that. So I'm hoping that explains a little bit more about what we're asking you to do at this stage of the project in phase 1. Okay, if you have any questions, you want to talk to me about it, then please do continue the conversation with me. You can find me in all of these usual places, but there is also the LinkedIn group, Redesigning D&T, that's there for people to kind of put their thoughts out there. So thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Hope you get involved in phase 2, but we're still in phase 1. We need to work out what we have to debate.